Who are you and what does your company do?
Kevin Farrell and U.S. Health Advisors is a nationwide sales and marketing organization. Mainly our products are benefits for the self-employed and small business sector.
Awesome. In your specific organization, the one that you're a leader over, oversee about 400 sales reps and leaders.
That's correct.
That's awesome. Why were you seeking commission-based sales recruiting services?
Well, we've obviously always recruited commission-based sales representatives for many years, but we found it more and more difficult to source candidates on the top end of our recruiting funnel. And so we were really looking for someone to partner up with that could help us on that end of the cycle.
Yeah. You guys were obviously a 400-person company. You're already really good at recruiting, but you wanted to save time on the front end, make the process more efficient, and increase the volume and quality of candidates.
That's exactly right.
Awesome. Before working with SRU, what were your frustrations around recruiting?
That was really the main frustration before starting with you guys, was really just finding enough people to talk to, on a consistent basis. I mean, all of my recruiters are very experienced, and over time, you've kind of seen job boards like Career Builder and Monster and even ZipRecruiter now that've kind of deteriorated in the response that you get to your job postings. And so really for us, it's just a function of numbers. The more people we talk to every week, the more success we're going to have in bringing in the folks that we're looking for. And so our objective, was to seek someone who could help us again, source more candidates and then schedule the upfront initial interviews and things like that to take some of that off of our plate so we can focus on what we do best, which is obviously, closing those recruits and getting them onboarded and those types of things.
Awesome. And this may feel a little bit redundant, but how did working with SRU make your life easier?
It did exactly what we were looking for. Again, when we initially contacted SRU, we were looking for someone to help us source more candidates on the front end, screen them, get them booked in, those types of things. And that's exactly, what it has done. And it's increased the, the front end of our recruiting funnel pretty dramatically. And as a result, obviously we're seeing more contracted salespeople at the end of each month since we've been working with you guys.
Awesome. Hey, just a side question, because you have an organization that like 99% of leaders and business owners want, right? You've built an amazing large organization. What do you think has been maybe like the 1 to 3 things that have set you apart from other leaders and entrepreneurs to be able to accomplish what you've accomplished?
Well, there's a lot of things that go into recruiting. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts. But one of the things I always say is you got to treat recruiting just like sales. So if you're a good salesperson, then you should be able to be a good recruiter as long as you don't deviate from the same principles, that you utilize in selling. And so, I think that's really one of the key things. And you have to work hard at it. You have to invest money. And, I think it's important for any business to identify what generates your revenues. What brings in the revenues is what you need to focus on. Yeah. And in particular, not only with your time and efforts, but with your money. You have to put back money into your business to grow the revenue stream. And that's exactly where we focus. New agents are our revenue stream. And so, we invest significant amount of time and money to grow our agent base, which in turn grows our revenue stream.
Love it. Well said, my friend. What are some tangible results you've gotten by working with SRU?
It's exactly what we've talked about. We've seen a pretty dramatic increase in the number of people that, we're scheduling on a weekly basis to go through our initial interview sessions. Yeah. And then obviously from there, everything is just a trickle down effect. So when you talk to more people on the front end, you're going to have more first interviews, second interviews, and contracting. Yeah. So it all just works exactly how it should.
Yeah. So is it Taika or Tyra? Taika. So for context, you guys have scaled up. We're now adding your 4th and 5th office and manager. So it's a little bit unique compared to just the typical smaller or medium-sized business. So Taika, as an example, I think she recruited or signed 12 new reps in her first month, just her office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Taika is a perfect example of,
Yeah.
what we were talking about earlier. I mean, she's a great recruiter,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter how good you are at recruiting if you don't have people to talk to. Just like, you can be the best salesperson in the world, but if you don't have appointments, you're not going to make any sales. And that was the other thing that I, wanted to mention about your previous question is you can work yourself to death trying to be really good at the presentation and really good at interviews and, really good at closing, candidates and those types of things. But if you don't have the top end volume, people to talk to, none of that is going to move the needle, and that's exactly what Taika's situation was, is her market, for whatever reason, presented some different challenges, and Career Builder, Monsters, ZipRecruiter, some of those traditional things we had used in the past didn't work for her at all. I mean, she was literally getting in front of a handful of people a month, and she would get a few, but again, the numbers are stacked against you. Now because of SRU, she's seeing 40, 50 people a week. Well, obviously the results are going to be a dramatic increase in recruits when that happens. So, that's exactly why it's so important to, you have to make sure the top end of that recruiting funnel is robust,
Yeah, 100% agreed. Last question. What would you say to someone considering to partner with SRU?
I would say that, if your organization is similar to ours and you're trying to recruit lots of, commission salespeople, then absolutely do it. Jump in with both feet. These guys are, they're very professional. They really know their stuff. We've had a couple little hiccups, but nothing that would cause me to say, even hesitate. I would absolutely do it. And I don't think you'll regret it one bit.
You're the man. I appreciate you.
You bet.